Bryce. And I'm Sasha.
I was going to say I'm Sasha. We're with 2020 Geomatics. Why are we here today, Sasha?
Bryce is going to tell us a little bit more on the history of land surveying. So he's going to talk about the three systems of surveying that went into developing Western Canada.
Yeah, made squares in the province of a big giant rectangle.
Yes, squares on a round planet. We'll see how this turns out.
Okay, so in 1877 to 1879 was when the first survey system came into play. It was pretty much only along the eastern edge of Saskatchewan, so it's a really long strip that includes this survey. The road allowances were all 99 feet, or a chain and a half, and every chain is 66 feet.
So by chain, let's just explain, like, what is a chain?
Chain is literally a chain.
Okay.
But it's a distance, it's like, they were a set distance, those chains. They were all only 66 feet. So they would just measure everything in chains and add it up that way. So every section is, or every half section is 40 chains. Man, if I mess this up, I'm done. If every half section is 40 chains and every full section is 80 chains. Okay?
That's quite the technology.
Yeah.
Okay.
So another important feature of the first survey is that the north-south section lines were made parallel, so like this. And that was a problem because the range lines, they all converge because it's a round planet and we're trying to make squares on a round planet. And it didn't work out too well. So
there's a second survey that happened in 1880.
Yes, and they tried to fix that because with the convergence, you ended up losing land on one side of the side of the township.
Right.
And so you'd lose about 7 acres by the bottom section, right? It would be way smaller. And so what the second survey came in to do was they tried to even out all of the sections. That also didn't work out because of convergence.
So there was a third survey.
So there was a third survey.
So from 1881 to present, this is the system, right?
Yeah, that's the system.
Okay.
And it covers the rest of Saskatchewan.
Okay.
Pretty much, give or take. And it's different from the first two in that they made all of the road allowances smaller. So they're now only a chain, so it's way easier to do. Just kind of pull it across the road and then you're done. And which is 66 feet, like I said earlier. And then each township also has less road allowances in it. So it had the same amount of road allowances running north-south, so 1 every mile. But going east-west, they only had 3, roughly 3, because everyone counts. It's every 2 miles that you get a road allowance.
Right.
In the third system. But
there's a third modified survey.
Yes, there's a third modified survey for all the veterans from World War I.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, so when they came back, they all got a section and a half of land instead of a section. And in the third modified system, they kind of grouped all those guys together and put a road allowance every 1.5 miles instead of every 2 miles to keep everybody's land together.
Right. That's awesome. I didn't know how much went into initially surveying everything, so we know whose land is whose. And
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Or just, yeah, I don't know.
Mind-blowing. Love it.
So, I'm Bryce.
I'm Sasha.
And we're with 2020.
Thanks for listening.